All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. David Gorman and Stephen Gibson have the front row. Justin Swafford and Kyle Holden on that second row. Jeff Hinkle, Cody Kennedy on the third row. Mark Nelson, AJ Gotze have the fourth row. Scott Snodgrass and Michael Whiting round out your top 10. Brandon Springer, Richie West, 11th and 12th. Kevin Reed in 13th. DJ the Iceman Kenner in 14th. Ty Dahlman in 15th. Dylan Murray in 16th. Richie Joplin in 17th. Zach Henson 18th. Edmund Jones in 19th. Mike Smith starts 20th. Harley Barletta starting in 21st with Nick Sorensen at 22nd. Donald Durance and Aaron Mason 23rd and 24th. Ray Hillhouse starting in 25th. Vern Spring in 26th. Michael Dow 27th. Rick Sargent 28th. Wild Bill starting in 29th. Mark Dantuma in 30th. Keep an eye on that driver. Gerald Thanos Poole starting at 31st with Graham Nucky in 32nd. Jacob Springer starts 33rd. Russell Worth in 34th. Caleb Bass rounding out a 35-car field at Iowa. Track temperature currently 68 degrees on this 9/10 of a mile track. Air temperature 67 degrees should keep things cool and give these drivers a little bit more grip. "35-car field on a short track, still waiting for two of the drivers to take the grid. 130 laps here tonight. Competition caution will be on lap 43. Two drivers do not make the grid. Russell Worth, Caleb Bass will have to start from pit road. They'll get 2 laps to get the tires warmed and everybody get lined up and ready to go. As Jacob Springer, the last one coming off pit road, just came off a moment ago. See what the view looks like from the blimp. You can see this field stretching halfway around the track. There you saw one going into turn 3 as the leaders are about to the start-finish line. The leaders are going to be in lap traffic fairly early on here tonight. Could cause some problems. David Gorman in control here at the start on the bottom. Make sure you drop in the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for here tonight. Don't forget to hit like, follow, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that share button. Invite your friends and family out to come watch what promises to be one heck of an awesome short track race here in Iowa. Pace car is in. Gourmet in control. Green flag is in the air there, down and away in Iowa. Already some drivers looking 3 wide. Good evening, Jason. How's it going? Out at 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Everybody fans out and then back together last night in the Truck Series. Man, you could run everywhere. Stephen Gibson looking underneath Gorman for the lead. A lot of battling back behind DJ the Iceman Kenner. There in that purple and white 32, already up 4 spots into 10th. Richie Joplin, the winner at Indy, on his way forward as well. Richie now 3 spots into 14th. One of the big movers right now, and he was fast in the trucks last night. Vern Spring up 7 spots into 19th. Now keep an eye on Mark Dantuma in that 57 car. Remember, he is doing the From the Back Challenge. Starts in 30th tonight. Every car he passes is another dollar donated to the MS Society, and we are so grateful for it. We do still have the fundraiser going on our Facebook page. If you can, please donate. Justin Swafford on the attack, trying to make a move on the high side. Can't get around Gibson yet. DJ Kenner now up to 8th on the back bumper of the short track ace, AJ Godsey. Richie Joplin now up into 13th. Kevin Reed definitely had a rough race. Oh, we've got a spin on the back straightaway. Caution is out. Several cars involved, including Kevin Reed. First caution of the night, lap 5. Looks like Graham Nucky involved, as well as Ray Hillhouse, Dylan Murray, and the Iceman. Looks like Mark Nelson was loose and Dylan Murray just goes around. Kevin Reed gets into DJ Kenner. He had nowhere to go. See if we can see what sent DJ around here. DJ coming out of turn 2 just gets loose, bangs the wall, and Chaos breaks loose back behind Vern Spring. Riding along with Vern. For a minute there, I thought Vern had missed everything. Several drivers did go to pit road, having to use that fast repair early. Richie Joplin, Harley Barletta, DJ Kenner, Dylan Murray, Edmund Jones, Donald Durance, and Graham Nucky all to pit road. David Garman still has the lead. Stephen Gibson, Justin Swafford, now Jeff Hinkle up to 4th. Cody Kennedy up to 5th. I do know that Cody is using a new set of pedals that have a lot more resistance. His legs were hurting at the end of last night's truck race, so we'll see if he can hold up for a little bit longer tonight. I can't tell you, for those that tuned in and watched me last night, obviously I'm having to drive completely with my hands these days, and my arms were worn out after last night's race, but the adjustments to the new wheel have really helped. I did talk to race control prior to this race. Nicole, that's what she said. Kriesel is probably going to need a new pin about halfway through this race. Expecting things to get a bit wild out there tonight. At this rate, the way the racing's going, folks, I may need oxygen by the end of this one. Lights are out. They are stacking back up for the restart. Kevin Reed managing to hold on to 11th despite being caught up in that. He had a rough race in the trucks last night. Very early on, ended up a couple laps down. Still on the lead lap at the moment, just outside the top 10. He is driving a modified though now, and that could change things dramatically. Garmin in control as they come through the zone. Green flag back in the air. Already 3 wide mid-pack. Oh, looked like Mark Nelson may have kissed the wall. Coming out of turn 2, losing a little momentum there. Kevin Reed underneath. Back up front, Steven Gibson is looking down underneath the leader. Oh, big push through 1 and 2, has to back out. Swafford almost gets a run on the high side. Things got really close there for a moment. Gibson now comes out of 4, gets a good run underneath as they head off towards turn 1. Cody Kennedy on the attack, now up into 4th as he comes by Jeff Hinkle with Kyle Holden lurking right behind. The short track ace, AJ, oh no! Scott Snodgrass is around, caution is out. Lap 14. Looked like Scott may have gotten a little peanut butter jelly time in there, and there may have been a bit of neck coat at play there as well. Everybody checks up, gets evasive. Take a look from another angle, but I do believe we saw there was quite a bit of neck coat at play. Thankfully, both drivers able to save it. Scott drops back to 11th. Brandon Springer holds on to 9th, but Vern Spring on the attack, up 13 spots into 13th despite missing his front clip. Already got Vern Spring and Kevin Reed out here driving modifieds. Looking through the field, looks like they are the only 2 drivers out here heavily mangled at the moment. Yet both drivers still in the fight. Also, just to update on the From the Back Challenge, Mark Dantuma up 8 spots. David Garman still has the lead despite some big attacks from Steven Gibson. Justin Swafford sitting in 3rd, Cody Kennedy in 4th, and Jeff Hinkle in 5th. You do have to wonder about this, though. Garman and Gibson have been battling it out. Swafford has been able to sit back behind, not having a lot of battling to do. Same with Jeff Hinkle. Cody Kennedy has been back and forth a little bit, and Kyle Holden back there. Those front 2 could be using up their tires battling each other could play into the hands of these guys back behind. Remember, it is unlikely we see anybody on pit road for tires before lap 43 when the competition caution comes out. Lights are out on the pace car. They stack back up side by side for the restart. Pace car leads him out of 2 down the back straightaway. He'll pull off in turn 4. Garmin will have control once he hits the restart zone. Garmin choosing to restart on the bottom here. Pace car is in, Garmin in control, they're in the zone. Green flag back in the air. Garmin quickly clears traffic. Stephen Gibson slides in behind him. Cody Kennedy on the high side for third. Kevin Reed looks like he may be losing a little bit of momentum up there, missing the front clip. We'll see. This track is just long enough for Aero to play a bit of impact from missing aerodynamics here. A lot of battling back toward the back. This is back around 20th place. Nick Sorensen on his way up. Sorensen now up in 20th. Rick Surgeon up 9 spots in the 19th. DJ Kenner is involved in that early incident as sent him back to 24th. He is trying to find a way forward as well. A lot of cars out here just trying to make their way toward the front, or at least get out of that mess in the back. As Stephen Gibson now looking for the lead again. Swafford on the high side trying to take second. Swafford gets that big run out of turn 4. Stephen Gibson shoots to the bottom in turn 1. But that high line exit, you carry so much more momentum, it is tough to pass. And look at this, Swafford's going up the middle. Could not get the run on Garmy yet. Cody Kennedy is closed in, and Kyle Holden lurking back in 5th. Also AJ Godsey now up into 6th. Michael Whiting has quietly snuck his way up into 7th. Stephen Gibson continues to try and make that bottom line work, and Cody Kennedy, though, up top is coming around. Jeff Hinkle has fallen back to 10th. Watch for him to start moving his way forward. Ty Dolman up 7 spots now into 8th. Vern Spring, despite running without an entire front end, is currently up 12 spots into 14th. And right behind him, Aaron Mason up 9 spots into 15th, continues his march forward. Obviously missing that front clip is definitely having an impact on downforce for Vern on corner entry, as it looks like Aaron is able to get a big run on entry. Mark Dantuma now up 10 spots is there, 3, almost 4 wide. Right behind him is the Iceman cometh. He's trying to make a move. They are 3 wide down the front straightaway. Now 2 wide. Oh, DJ side by side with Harley Barletta out of 2. Richie Joplin, last week's winner in Indy, has drifted back now to 23rd. He was extreme. Holy cow, big checkup from Barletta. Don't count Richie Joplin out of this one yet. He was extremely fast here last night. Ray Hillhouse, another driver who did not qualify, only up 1 spot now into 24th. Dylan Murray, who was caught up in that early incident, has not been able to make up much ground yet. He's currently back in 28th. Garmin still holds the lead, but a new challenger is headed his way. Kyle Holden has made his way through traffic into 2nd. Steven Gibson able to take some opportunities to reclaim 3rd. Cody's now up to 4th. Swafford up on the high side in 5th. Now has AJ Godsey looking underneath. Michael White and Ty Dolman right there. Brandon Springer and Jeff Hinkle not far behind. Garmin holding that high line so far has led every lap. Kyle Holden, though, trying to find a way to attack here. Holden gets a big run out of turn 2, down into 3. Closes back up, but so does Steven Gibson and Cody Kennedy back behind. AJ Godsey now up to 5th. Aaron Mason now up 11 spots into 13th. He is making his way forward as well. Also on the move, Nick Sorensen up 6 spots into 16th. Rick Sargent up 11 spots into 17th. And look who's coming. Mark Dantuma up 12 spots into 18th. Harley Barletta currently running in 19th with the Iceman back there in 20th. Hillhouse now up into 21st as he starts making his way forward. Edmund Jones 22nd, Richie Joplin 23rd. Mike Smith currently rolling in 24th. Michael Dow up 2 spots into 25th. Vern Spring, that damage has obviously hindered that car. He has dropped all the way to 26th. Kevin Reed's damage has also impacted him. He has drifted back to 33rd at the moment, just waiting for that competition caution here in about 6 more laps. AJ Godsey has made his way now up into 3rd, taking advantage of the battling back behind. Kyle Holden currently sitting in 2nd. Cody Kennedy is around on the back straightaway. He is clear of the racing surface, no caution. There's Cody on the bottom of Michael Whiting coming out of turn 2. Just pushed up, tried to pull it down, and ends up going around to the inside wall. Cody has been extremely fast all night long, has been battling in the top 3, top 5 all night. He is hoping for that caution here shortly to get the car fixed and fight his way back toward the front. Garmin still holds the lead with Holden and AJ Gotze second and third. A bit of a gap back to Michael Whiting in fourth. Steven Gibson fading back into fifth. Swafford and Dolman sixth and seventh with Jeff Hinkle in eighth. Brandon Springer in ninth, and Mark Nelson now back up into 10th. Competition caution is out. Expect to see all the drivers in for 4 tires and fuel here tonight. All the drivers talked to us. Some of them could get 75 laps out of a tank, most of them around 70, some as little as 65, so quite a window there. But regardless of how many laps they can make on a tank, nobody can go the distance from here on fuel. So pit strategy will definitely come into play here. And here they come. David Garmin leads them all in. Cars hitting their pit stall throughout the field. Gerald Poole is in. Michael Dow is in. Everybody on pit road. Wait a minute. Donald Durant is staying out. Everybody rolling off pit road. Let's see. See if we can get a quick word with the guy who's led every lap until now, David Garmin. Hey, Garmy, it's Doug. You got me?
What's up, Mr. Doug?
Hey, a great start to this one. You have led every lap so far and held off some pretty big charges.
Yeah, and then you're going to go ahead and jinx it by saying that, huh?
I mean, no, you have done terrible tonight, and you're in a Ford, so it'll probably blow up.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Nah, it's been fun so far. Just trying to be consistent and just not overdrive it so much. So I'll probably get past here, and we'll see what happens the rest of the race.
Well, man, so far, so good. Keep it up. A great run tonight, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Doug.
David Garmin has led every lap so far except under caution. Donald Durant did lead one lap. Donald Durant came in tonight 12th in points, so that is a great streak. He's only 2 points behind Aaron Mason and only 3 points behind Mark Nelson. So a great strategy by Durant, staying out, leading a lap, picking up some bonus points here. He'll move to the tail end of the field on the restart, but anything could happen, and those few bonus points could make a world of difference at the end of this season. David Garman will control the restart once they hit the zone. But now he has Kyle Holden on his outside. Pace car is in. Garman in control. Garman fires there away. Green flag is in the air, and it looked like a few of the drivers may have got caught napping. That inside line back behind him just looked like they did not get a great start on this one. Everybody makes it around. Obviously, Kevin Reed's car repaired. Cody Kennedy's car is fixed, as is Vern Spring. We saw Vern marching early on in the race. Can he do it again? Ty Dahlman now up into 4th place, up 11 spots, but Kyle Holden just set the fastest lap of the night. Zach Henson just cracked into the top 10 as he comes by Richie West. Richie not giving it up easy. He fights back up top. And they are 3 wide right behind him. And Mark Dantuma comes out of that 3 wide in 12th. Dantuma up 18 spots so far tonight. Ray Hillhouse also picking up some ground here, as did Rick Sargent. Hillhouse up 12 spots, Sargent up 14. Holden now looking underneath the leader once again. Garman holds him off as they come out of 4. Ty Dahlman. Wild Bill has had a problem back behind. No caution. Wild Bill coming up out of turn 2, just gets the wall, slides it down, and hits the inside wall. Toes it to pit road to prevent caution coming out. A heartbreak for Wild Bill here tonight. Bill had a good run going. Oh, Bill was struggling with technical issues coming into the race. Richie West has managed to hold Zach Henson off so far, but now Henson's got the run up on the high side and Dantuma right behind him. And now Hillhouse on the attack on the bottom. And got to give it to Hillhouse. That is kind of cool seeing an old Miller Lite number 2 on a short track racing once again. Takes you back to the 90s and Rusty Wallace in that car. Harley Barletta also on the attack. Harley up to 14th, right behind this battle. Dantuma, a huge run into 3. Graham Nucky up 5 spots, currently into 27th. Scott Snodgrass, after that earlier incident, all the way back in 28, does look like Scott was on pit road for an extended amount of time. Dylan Murray sitting at 29th, Michael Dow in 30th. And it does look like Wild Bill is officially out of the race. Donald Durant who we saw lead a lap earlier back in 32nd, not making up any ground on track at the moment. The top 6 or 7 cars now single file as Gourmets leads them around. Justin Swafford, his first run in the BRR, in any BRR event, currently runs in 5th. Holden has a run underneath for the lead though. Out of turn 2, Kyle Holden clears Gorman and takes the lead. Does Gorman have enough to get him back here? And for the first time tonight, we have a new leader. It is Kyle Holden. Harley Barletta starting to make his way forward. Barletta now battling for 10th with Zach Henson. Mark Dantuma and Richie West battling back behind with caution is out. And it looks like Kyle Holden is stopped down on the bottom. Does look like something may have gone wrong with Holden. Let's see. Coming out of turn 4, Garmin underneath. Oh, looks like Holden may have gotten a bump from Garmy. Let's take a different angle. Garmin was definitely on the attack here, and I think he may have just given him a little bit of a tap. Everybody is back on pit road. Everybody can go the distance from here on fuel. Hey, good evening, Levi. I stand correct. Yeah, everybody is not coming in from 15th on back, has been on pit road, and this is exactly how the truck race played out last night. The drivers that stayed out and tried to make that green flag stop later on ended up getting caught behind. Those of us who went in right when we were within the window under caution came out ahead. The leaders now have to hope for another caution in about 20 laps or so. David Garman now has the lead. AJ Godsey in second. Swafford now up to third. Springer in fourth. Edmund Jones now up to fifth. Mark Nelson in sixth. Vern Spring is in seventh. Kevin Reed now fought back up to eighth. Nick Sorensen in ninth. And Scott Snodgrass has battled his way back to 10th. And now it looks like everybody from 13th on back has gone to pit road under this caution. Kyle Holden also went in. He is currently back in 25th. He has got a lot of traffic to come through. The front 12 cars are on old tires, so those guys from Ty Dahlman on back, they're going to be coming through, fighting their way forward. This is going to get interesting. Lights are out on the pace car as they stack back up for the restart. Gerald Poole has had a problem with his computer. He is out of the race. Pace car is in. Garmin in control. He fires. They are away, and green flag is in the air. Kyle Holden has had a problem on the restart. Lap 68. Caution is back out. Let's take a look and see what happened. Looks like several cars may have been involved. Oh, there was a big stack up. A lot of guys get hit in that one. Aaron Mason, Richie Joplin, Kyle Holden. Looks like Cody Kennedy may have caught a piece of it as well. And it looked like Donald Durant may have actually been able to stop and avoid this. Cody Kennedy catches up some of it as well. Talk about your quickie caution there. Problems on the restart. Good evening, Thomas. It looked like the entire field just stacked up on the restart. See if we can see if the stack up where it was. Just mid-pack, looks like everybody got bunched up and then a bit of an accordion effect. I definitely think somebody spun their tires out there, but that happened with back in the area of guys on fresh tires. A lot of drivers back on pit road for repairs here. Also of note, Richie Joplin currently sits in 30th. Happy 316th birthday of 2023 to Richie Joplin. And here, nope, well, we had a few drivers fake to pit road, but nobody bought it. Looked like Garmin may have even faked to pit road. The top 8 drivers have still not been in. Looks like everybody else behind them has. Now the question is, Garmin has led every lap so far. If he gets another caution timed right, he could get to pit road, 4 tires, fuel. Could Gourmets pull off his first BRR win in quite a while? Lights are out on the pace car. Everybody stacks back up for the restart. Everybody who has been to pit road since that caution on lap 64 can go the distance on fuel. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. They are away. Everybody gets away clean on this restart. And already 3 wide at the back. As a lot of guys who have been up here fighting for the top spot tonight now have a lot of ground to make up. Cody Kennedy back there, Scott Snodgrass, Kyle Holden. Oh, Cody is all over the place, and Holden is just cutting through traffic. Now here comes Cody Kennedy cutting through traffic. Still some battling going on up front as Kevin Reed starts to make his way forward. And would you look at this, Vern Spring now up in 7th. He was all the way back in the 20s, missing a front clip before the comp caution. Kevin Reed, oh, Kevin gets a bump off Ty Dolman. He's in the wall, caution. A rough night again tonight for him. Let's take another look. I have a feeling there may have been a little bit of netcode at play on that one. Could not tell very well from that angle, but no, I don't believe there was any netcode at play. It looked like Dahlman just got a bit of a push. Great job by Kevin, just barely kisses the wall. None of the leaders are in this time. Mark D'Antuma running that from the back challenge, now up 21 spots into 9th place. And good evening to the beautiful Angie James, who you'll see racing tomorrow night with Jones BS Racing. Steven Gibson currently running in 5th. Let's see if we can get a word. Hey, Steven, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Doug.
Hey, it's been a bit of a wild race behind you, but you've been able to stay out of trouble and hold top 5 most of the night.
Yeah, just been trying to state the tires here and just let the people that are trying to push hard go. Just watch what happened in front of me. I don't know what happened between the 24 and Kevin there, but yeah, just gonna probably be a good battle here between AJ and David here up front, and hopefully we can steal one from them.
Well, man, it's been a great race. You've been in the fight, almost had the lead a couple of times. Hopefully you got something left for him.
Yeah, hopefully we do, Doug.
Good luck, man.
Yep, thank you, bro.
Steven Gibson currently in 5th, just trying to conserve the car, see if he can make it to the end. We have had 4 cautions since the, no, excuse me. Three cautions since the competition caution, which is going to help the drivers conserve some fuel here. Everybody was on pit road lap 44, but I do not think that anybody can make it, even with, it would take a bunch more cautions for a guy like Garmin or AJ Godsey to go the distance. And it looks like the top 3 are the only ones that have not been to pit road. Hey David, how is it going? Kyle, you guys have definitely had a wild race. The top 3 have not been to pit road since that competition caution. Everybody else has. Lights are out on the pace car as they get ready to go racing. Nice, David. Hopefully she'll show me tomorrow. Here we go. Pace car is in. They fire a green flag back in the air. Garmin gets clear as they go off into turn 1. 1 and 2, as you see, is extremely bumpy. Holy cow! Edmund, that car is all over the place. Edmund just holding on for dear life on that first lap. Ty Dahlman on fresh tires, now up to 3rd. Edmund sliding back. Here come the fresh tires towards the front. Mark Dantuma now at 22 spots. If he holds that position, that'll be 88 cars passed this season and $88 toward the MS Society just 4 races in. Garmin still has the lead, but now a bunch of fresh tires are coming forward, including Michael Whiting and Harley Barletta. Ty Dahlman in 3rd, also pitted under the lap 64 caution. Ray Hillhouse now up 16 spots into 9th. Jeff Hinkle holds on in 10th. And Kyle Holden is already back up into the top 10. As he comes by Hinkle, looks to the high side on Hillhouse, has a run on Dantuma. Oh, that is a gutsy move, 3 wide, right up by the wall for Holden. Some very close calls as he comes through the field here. Meanwhile, Harley Barletta on fresh tires comes by AJ Godsey into second and sets his sights on David Garvin. Michael Whiting has now made his way up to fourth. Garmin has the lead, but he is on old tires, and that 81 car isn't. Oh! AJ is in the wall, and Barletta was way out of shape. Michael Whiting takes advantage. Michael Whiting now in second sets his sights on the leader. Edmund Jones on old tires fighting with Dolman for fourth. Harley Barletta clear in third. AJ Gonsi also on old tires, still trying to hold on to fifth. He and Edmund just inches apart through 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Michael Whiting has a run on Gorman, can't get there yet. If this thing stays green, Gorman may not have the fuel to go the distance. Even with the pace laps. Harley gets a big run in third, is now caught up to the back bumper of Michael Whiting. Cody Kennedy now back on the attack as well. Cody back up caution. Caution is out. Multiple cars involved, including the Mark Nelson. Let's take a look and see what happened with Mark Nelson and Brandon Springer. Nelson coming out of turn 2. Oh, looked like the 75 was in the wall. Springer had nowhere to go, and Mark gets caught. Oh, the 75 just pushes up out of the turn, pushes Springer into the wall, and anarchy. As everybody is on pit road. Not everybody. I stand corrected as Graham Nucky has gone to the lead, followed by Swafford, Snodgrass, Mike Smith, Zach Henson, Vern Spring. Kevin Reed stays out. Donald Durant stays out. Well, let's see if we can get a word with Justin Swafford about this strategy. Hey, Swafsky, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug, what's happening?
Hey, that is a gutsy call staying out right now.
Yeah, we got an extra set sitting there, so I'm banking on maybe another caution coming out. I don't know. We're here to gamble.
Well, it is definitely a gamble, but based on last night, it could, in the truck series, no telling what could happen here. It's been a great run for you. Obviously, you got in some trouble early, but managed to fight your way back up.
Yeah, these cars are actually kind of fun at this track, and you know, getting it into Cody. You know, I know he didn't mean it, so it was just all fun, all racing deal. But appreciate these BRR guys letting me come out here and race with them.
Well, man, good luck. A great run so far, buddy.
Thank you.
Swavsky currently sits in second place. Jim, I know, buddy. That was a great truck race last night. You guys can check out the BRR Live on Facebook and on Twitch to see last night's truck race. You can also see my in-truck view right here and on our YouTube channel. Kyle, I would say struggling is definitely a word for it, buddy. It's been a rough night for Aaron. Now the Australian will be in control on the restart. The top 8 drivers all stayed out. Everybody behind them has been to pit road. Jim, last night was a blast. Despite the fact that my arms are hurting today, well worth it. Be doing a lot more racing in the near future. Lights are out. They begin to stack back up. Graham Nucky and Justin Swafford on the front row. Scott Snodgrass, Mike Smith on the second row. Vern Springs, Zach Henson, Cody Kennedy, Kevin Reed, David Garman, and Michael Whiting round out the top 10. That is true, buddy. Hey, Peter. Hey, thank you, Nicole. You did great as well. And don't forget to check out the GT3 NSS race this morning. Nicole had another awesome race. Here we come through 3 and 4. Pace car is in. Graham Nucky in control once they hit the zone. Green flag is in the air. Scott Snodgrass quickly picks up a couple of positions. I believe I said Pete, but I apologize if I didn't. And caution is back out. Graham Nucky still holds the lead. Multiple cars involved, including Michael Dow, Richie Joplin, and Harley Barletta. Let's see what happened. Oh, Harley had some problems. He gets into a lot of folks. Back up the replay just a little bit, see what happened. They were 3 wide, then ended up 4 wide. Kyle Holden comes down, clips Harley's nose, and then Harley became a ping pong ball. Michael Dow unfortunately caught up in this, nowhere to go. Manages to get stopped, just barely misses Richie. Sorry, Pete. Graham Nucky still has the lead, but 5-lap fresher tires for Scott made a huge difference on that restart. Zach Henson now up 14 spots into 4th. Mike Smith, one heck of a run tonight, up 14 spots into 6th. Vern Springs' comeback has been amazing tonight, now up 17 spots into 9th place. Ray Hillhouse now up 11 spots into 14th. Mark Dantuma up 12 spots into 8th. I was gonna say, David, it does seem like it is awfully late over there. Lights are out. They will stack. No, lights are still on. Graham Nucky leading for the first time at BRR competition. A great run for him so far. Scott Snodgrass sitting in 2nd could be a big threat. A lot of cars on fresh tires. David Garman, who just got tires on lap 95, back in 7th place. He is the highest running car on the freshest tires. Everybody stacks back up for the restart. Graham Nucky will control it once they hit the restart zone. Out of turn 4, here we go. Pace car will drop back in. They head out. They're in the restart zone, and Green is back in the air. Graham has a problem getting launched. Looked like there might have been some trouble for David Garman. He is off track. And Scott Snodgrass has gone to the lead. 25 laps to go. Caution is back out with 24 laps to go here. Rick Sargent involved. Let's see what happened first with Gourmet. Oh, just a stack up. Garmin spins him as he tries to get going. Ends up in the... Holy cow. I think he may have found a glitch there. Rick Sargent involved in an incident as well. Oh! Checks up to go into 3. Donald Durant tries to back out but doesn't have enough time. Sargent goes around. Graham Nucky has gone to pit road, as has Kevin Reed. Rick Sargent also in. Scott Snodgrass staying out on old tires. See if we can talk to our leader. Scott, looks like this is going to come down to a crapshoot, man.
Yeah, might actually pay off a little bit. It's hard to say.
It is a tricky situation based on the trucks last night. Having the fresher tires and the track position seems to pay off. You've got the track position, and the fresher tires are a little ways back at the moment.
Yeah, but I got a freshie sitting in the track in the pits waiting for me also. So let's see what happens these next 20 laps.
Well, hopefully it goes your way, man. Good luck. It's been a wild race for you so far.
Yeah, appreciate it. Front to the back and back to the front. Why not?
Well, it wouldn't be a race for you if you didn't have to go all the way around, would it?
No, it wouldn't. No, I'm just trying to finish this race. So that's my goal, is just to finish it.
Well, you're in a great position to get it done right now, buddy. Good luck.
All right, man. You too. Thanks.
Scott Snodgrass in the lead. He last pitted lap 70. The two cars behind him, Zach Henson and Justin Swafford, pitted lap 78. Mike Smith, who sits in fourth, pitted lap 64. It is just a mishmash in the top 10 of when they took tires. AJ Godsey sits in sixth. He last pitted lap 95. Ty Dahlman on lap 96. Vern Spring, one of the biggest movers of the night, currently sits in ninth place, up 17 spots. He last pitted lap 78. One thing is for sure, the last 20 laps of this one is going to be interesting. And it is impossible. Hey, have a good night, David. Get some rest, buddy. It is impossible to predict who is going to pull this one off at this point. Lights are out on the pace car. They stack back up for the restart. Anybody want to make a prediction on this one? Drop in the comments. Let us know. Through turns 3 and 4, pace car about to pull in. Scott will have control of the restart. Pace car is in. He hits the zone, fires, green flag, back in the air, 19 to go at the line. Scott gets a big jump on Henson and Swafford. Swafford quickly clears Cody Kennedy. Now back on the attack. Vern Spring on the move as well. Kevin Reed also back up in the fight in 7th. Swafford up on that high line, and they are battling like crazy back behind. Michael Whiting trying to come through. Edmund Jones is up there. Thomas making the bold call that Swafford will pull this one off. Meanwhile, AJ Godsey just set the fastest lap of the night. Swafford goes by on the high side. He'll take the lead. 16 lap caution. Caution is out with 16 to go. And it looks like a lot of cars just got junked. Richie West there in the middle, Edmund up top, and oh, looks like Mike Smith had a problem. Oh, Mike got yeeted. See what happened with Mike. Wow, that was some massive net code. Looks like from the 24. And man, everybody just piles into this thing. The big one at Iowa. Richie Joplin, Richie West, Mark Dantuma, Ray Hillhouse, Michael Whiting involved, Stephen Gibson involved, Aaron Mason involved, Dylan Murray, Graham Nucky, Mike Smith, Ray Hillhouse, Harley Barletta, Donald Durantz, Jacob Springer, DJ Kenner, all involved. A lot of drivers on pit road for repairs. Mark Dantuma missing his front clip. Ray Hillhouse is missing his hood. Richie Joplin missing his front clip. Michael Whiting not in the best shape. Harley Barletta is back out on track. Graham Nucky appears to be out of the race early. Hey, good evening, My Gun Talk. Welcome. And word from race control is tempers are getting hot. Looks like Gerald Poole joining us in the booth. Gerald, tempers getting a little warm out there?
I think that there are some frustrated folks. I definitely do.
Did look like that one started off with a lot of netcode off of Dolman, but chaos everywhere on that thing.
Yeah, I think, this has been I'll tell you what, this is almost, we'll have a nice scrapyard after this one's over with.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of cheap race car parts after this one, man.
Hey, mine's in good shape. It's for sale. My problem with my car, it was my computer.
Well, I guess that is an upside to it, but man, rough way to end it. You had a great race in the trucks last night. Could have had potentially a good one here tonight.
Oh, definitely had a fast car. I'm not running this series for the championship, so it's all about just kind of making spots and having some fun racing. So yeah, it's bad when the computer, or bad when you get wrecked in a race, but yeah, when it's the computer that kicks you, it's a little worse.
Well, as I get ready to go back to green, any predictions? Who do you think can pull this one off?
I'm an AJ fan, so I have to kind of lean towards, especially with the number of laps left, I think AJ's probably going to be the guy to watch.
Definitely so. Well, man, sorry about your bad luck, and hopefully we see you back next week, buddy.
Oh, definitely so, man. You did a great job, and thanks to BRR, all they do, and let's see how this one works itself out.
All right, man. Have a great night, buddy.
Later.
Gerald Poole out of the race early, kind enough to stop by, and as you heard him say, a lot of frustrations out on track. And word from race control is it's on like Donkey Kong. Obviously, some big netcode off of Ty Dahlman's car brought that one out. Pace car is in. Swafford in control with AJ right behind him. Green flag in the air, and that was a slow restart. AJ already making the move into second. He has fresher tires, as does Cody Kennedy in third. AJ of the top three has the freshest though. Caution is back out with 9 laps to go. See if we can see what brought the caution out here. Oh, Aaron Mason way out of shape. He manages to get it off the track. Looks like Aaron came down. Harley Barletta was there, and he just gets turned around. Tried to keep it off the racing surface, but with just enough to trigger a caution. Swofsky still has the lead. Let's see if we can talk to our favorite race control. Nicole, I know you said coming into the night you'd need another pencil. You probably need another notebook at this point.
Yeah, it's getting pretty rough out there.
I have to say, it does sound like, talked to Gerald a minute ago, it does sound like you were right. Tempers are really starting to flare, especially after that many cars being taken out by netcode.
I know, that's it. I think there's like 2 tonight that were kind of netcody. I don't know what's happening.
Well, it was definitely a big batch of netcode. I think the 24 and Mike were quite a ways apart when that incident happened, but man, a rough night, and I imagine there's going to be some penalties coming out of this one as well. There's been a little bit of rough driving out there.
Oh, yeah, there'll be some for next week. There are always going to be some, so I'm kind of happy about that because it gives me something to do.
Well, a great job tonight, and I have to say, great job in the truck last night, a great job in the car this morning. You definitely can tell a difference in your driving is improving dramatically. Does this race control help with that?
Yeah, it does. I'm watching all the cars and seeing how they're running so I can kind of see what kind of lines they run and how they're running it. So I'm kind of picking up on how everybody runs so I can take some pointers from how they're, driving it.
Well, I have to say it has really paid off this year, and I can't wait to see you battling for championships in the near future.
All right, thanks, Ed. I'm really trying.
Well, good luck next weekend, and man, good luck for the rest of the night. I think you'll need it.
All right, thanks, Doug.
That was Nicole. That's what she said. Creasel in race control. Looks like we're going to restart this thing with 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go. Guys, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and the YouTube. All the past races are on our YouTube channel. Plus all those big announcements on everything. Could see some more announcements in the near future. You never know what's going to happen. Plus a lot of daytime streams throughout the week to entertain you while you're at work. Angie will be out there trucking and trying some new games this week. She tried Red Dead Redemption 2 the other day. Expect to see a Skyrim and Ranch Simulator in the near future. Plus, she'll be back flying on Friday. and a whole lot more to come. Hey, good evening, Lux. They stack back up for the restart. AJ Godsey on the high side, but Justin Swafford with the lead. Swafford has the older tires. AJ has the freshest tires in the top 5. And here we go, quite possibly the last restart. Green flag is in the air there, away with 4 to go at the line. And Swafford quickly clears, jumps to the high line. Cody Kennedy on the bottom looking for second. Could be Swafford saving grace. Caution is back out. Caution is back out. We are going to get a green-white checker. Oh, this just got even more interesting. Looks like Edmund Jones, Scott Snodgrass involved. Let's see what happened. Oh, a little bump from the 17 sends Edmund up into Brandon. Holy cow! Believe that was Steven Gibson we saw go flying as, oh, Scott had a big run up the middle and then more net coat. Oh, holy cow. Wow. Steven Gibson was the car that went flying. Steven up on the high side, and Edmund just gets bumped up the track. Gibson ends up on Mark Nelson's hood. Mark Nelson down to the inside. Steven Gibson tows it. Wow. You knew with 35 cars starting on a track that was less than a mile, things were going to get dicey at points. We did have some long green flag runs out here. Spurs, sorry to hear that, man. Zach Henson is still in the fight, and it looks like Aaron Mason is done for the night. Lux, if you get a chance to talk to Steven after the race, the FAA would like to have a word with him. Cody Kennedy now in second, AJ in third, so it will start on the bottom line behind Swafford. It will be a green-white checkered finish. Remember, AJ has the freshest tires up there. The next freshest tires are 7th place Ty Dolman, Richie West in 8th, and Kyle Olden in 9th. Back in 10th, Brandon Springer on fresh tire, on even fresher tires, lap 101. Scott Snodgrass got him on lap 116. Looks like Mark Dantuma, Michael Whiting, Aaron Mesa, a lot of drivers out early here, unfortunately. The beautiful Angie cheering on one of our truckers, Justin Swafford. Can he hold everybody off for 2 more laps? Lights are out on the pace car. Into turn 3, green-white checker time at Iowa. Who is it gonna be? Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. They are away. AJ Gonzi is gonna clear. No, he's not. It looked like he had the run. He might clear him. Cody fighting back, has the advantage on the outside. Zach Henson lurking right behind in 4th. And there are cars bouncing off each. Oh, AJ gets together with Cody. Zach Henson slips by. White flag is in the air for Swafford. Zach Henson trying to reel him in. Kevin Reed on the march in 3rd. But out of turn 4, Thomas called it. Justin Swafford will pull off a win in his first race in BRR Cup. Zach Henson comes home in 2nd. Kevin Reed has an amazing comeback to finish 3rd. Wow. In a million years, I never could have predicted that one. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Kevin Reed. Kevin, you went from driving a modified to a podium finish, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I guess I did.
I have to say, you had a rough race last night in the trucks, and you really started off badly here with a ton of problems, but what a comeback it was. Just avoiding the chaos alone was impressive.
Yes. I didn't think I was going to be having a fun night again. And stayed out after that last set of tires, and I just told myself, I am staying out here. It doesn't matter what. Unless I run it out of gas, I don't care. I'm staying out. And here I am.
It definitely paid off, man, and some awesome passes there at the end, some survival that worked out really well. Man, a great job, a great finish, buddy.
Thanks, Doug.
Wow, for Kevin to come back and finish in 3rd, that was really impressive. Zach Henson up 16 spots to finish 2nd. Zach, that was one heck of a charge tonight. Not to mention charging through a bunch of craziness.
Oh yeah, tonight was definitely all over the place. That's definitely sure.
I think all 3 of you on the podium tonight actually ended up at some point in the back and having to fight your way back through.
Oh, I had to go to the back multiple times. And then, I don't know if I got a little tight, but I got into the back, or into the wall, just out of 2 twice in 2 different runs and bounced off of it, kind of threw me all the way in the back. That really set me back for a while.
Well, you managed to make it work and make one heck of a comeback. Man, a great job tonight. Congratulations, buddy.
All right, thank you, Doug.
Obviously, Zach is surprised himself, but the winner tonight in his first BRR race ever, Justin, I have to say, it is very rare that I broadcast, in fact, I can count on one hand, the number of broadcasts I've done where a guy's first time in a league, he pulls off a win. And you added to that tonight. That was one heck of a run.
Man, how about that? Let's go.
That was pretty awesome. You had quite the cheering section going tonight, too, as well as the beautiful Angie cheering you on. And that obviously is what did it.
Hey, that's awesome, man. I can't thank these guys enough for letting me come out and run with them. I had such a blast tonight. I know Zach and Kevin were coming quick. I lost track of who was on tires and what pit cycles they were, so I was just, with the laps counting down and the cautions, I just kept counting down and was like, well, guess we're staying out.
You know, I've got the data in front of me, and I was still losing track of who was on what tires. You had several drivers coming forward. In fact, AJ was on some of the freshest tires in the top 10, and up until about 2 to go, it looked like, or coming to the white flag rather, it looked like he was going to run you down.
Yeah, for sure. I kept checking, and I didn't know who was getting in wrecks and who was actually getting through them. So, like I said, it was tough to keep track with it. And at that point, I was just gambling, hoping that the cautions kept going in my way.
Well, they definitely did, man. That was an awesome race. Congratulations. Your first BRR race, you pull off the win, man.
Yeah, thank you. Again, thank you to the BRR guys. Thank you for letting me run. And again, thank you, Doug, for broadcasting.
My pleasure, buddy. Justin Swafford gets the win at a wild race at Iowa. Huge shout out to Vern Spring, who came home in 4th, up 22 spots. The biggest mover of the night. That was an impressive run. Vern is going to definitely be one to contend with all season long. Great job to all the drivers, and man, I think all of them probably need to go take a deep breath after that one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That race was so much fun to broadcast. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Don't forget to come back tomorrow. We will have streams during the day. Tomorrow night, Jones BS Racing, 8:30 Eastern. You don't want to miss that. Hope you guys had a great night. Have a good one, everybody.